Alright, welcome to part 6 of our website development and design series. Today we're going to go ahead and cover inline and block level elements. Before diving in, we need to understand how content on our web page flows. Taking a look here, the words will flow from left to right, so horizontally. New lines of text will flow from top to bottom, so vertically. Paragraphs of text will be stacked on top of each other, so vertical. Inline here means horizontal. Block level is your vertical. To help remember this better, think of something to help remember the difference. For me, I imagine inline as words in a line from left to right and not up and down. For block level, I like to think of a block of apartments, a tall building, so vertical. The reason this is important is to understand that in HTML, the elements come in two different types, which are inline and block level. Let's go ahead and look at an example to see more. So starting off with that example here, feel free to, if you want, you can copy this and try it out on your own VS Code. But for now, feel free to just observe what I'm typing. In future lectures, there will be examples that you can just download and copy paste onto your side and we'll go along together. But starting from the top here, we have some basic HTML setups that we talked about in earlier videos. Over here in this part, we have some CSS. Don't worry about this portion for now. I just have this here to kind of help us out for our lesson. But over here is the main stuff we'll look over. And so you can see here different elements here. You got the body element, our H1s, our paragraphs, our anchor tags, span, small, heading to P, our div, so on and so forth. So we'll look over and look at the actual website here. And so you can see here, hello, I am a block level element. This is our first element, or our first content, I should say, on our website. So you can see here in our body element, we are in our first one, H1. H1 is kind of like our heading 1, which is kind of like our most important title. And you can see here, H1 is our block level element. It's highlighted in green just so I can show y'all what that looks like. It's its own block. And if we're going into the next part, so P or paragraph is another tag here, another block level paragraph. So notice how after the element, or the word element here, it says I am writing A, so on and so forth. Instead of it kind of continuing in one line over here, like I am writing A. On our website, you can see that it is on its own line. It's its own section because, again, this is a block level element. They go vertically, so kind of like a stack of blocks, for example, and these boxes here kind of help show that difference. An example of an inline element, however, is this A tag or our anchor tag, kind of like our hyperlink tag. So this about a girl over here, even though it is in an element, it is an inline element. So it's able to exist on the same line as the rest of this text over here without it getting cut off. And so again, this is its own thing. There's a little box, you can see a little red box. That's to show that it is a different element. However, again, it's not breaking apart our content here. You can have it in the same line as the rest of this. Same thing with a boy in a shirt, our span. It's another inline element. It is green, just to kind of show that difference. Another inline element. When we get into H2, that is another block level element, and so this is going to be on a different line compared to this text. Another inline element, again, small, as the name implies, makes our text a little smaller compared to the rest of the text. So notice how this is a little bigger than new heading. This is where we have our text here. The same logic will apply for the rest of them, and so I'll let you kind of figure that out on your own. But again, just EM for emphasis, school in my car. Flat tire is a strong element, and so it's going to be bolded over here. Div is its own block level content. We'll talk more about div in the next video, but again, another block level content here. You can see that here. Our order list tag. This is a list. We'll automatically keep track of the items in this order list. And so notice how it says 1, 2, 3. We'll go more into lists in another video, but just wanted to show that really quickly. Lastly, another paragraph tag with some text in here. It's its own block level. And so another thing is inline elements are not affected by the margins in size. So if I wanted to change something within here, it wouldn't work out. But if I wanted to, let's say, make this like text really big or really small, then you can do that because it is a block level element. This example only covered a few examples of different block level elements and inline elements, and so here's actually the full list of block level elements as of making this video. You can go ahead and pause and read this. And here's our full list of inline elements. You're more than welcome to pause and look at this. Now go ahead and memorize all of them. I'm just kidding, of course. Trying to memorize all of these elements isn't important, and honestly I don't know many people who have them all memorized, and so please utilize the VS Code hints or Google the tag itself if you want to learn more about the tags. So if you want to learn more about what block quote is, just hover your mouse over the NDN reference. You can read it right here if you want, or if you want examples, more information, just click on the link here. You're more than welcome to trust this link. You can open it if you want, it'll take you to the website. Or if you're working on your actual code, you want to learn more about what small does, then you can just hover over it, read about it, and then go to that website if you want to learn more. Some tags are used more often than others, and so I'm not going to ask you to memorize all of them, but for example, the ones with the arrows next to them that I typed up, these are the ones I recommend start learning about and understanding more as we go on throughout this lecture series. And so for block level elements, we have block quote, figure, form, headings, our headings H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, HR, or our thematic break, as you can say, order lists, P for paragraph, div, table, and UL or unordered lists. And then for inline elements, you can look at A, button, small, M, span, image, input, labels, and strong. If you want to learn more about all these different other elements, feel free to go ahead, look at them, read them. It's really fun. If you're wondering how to use them in your own website, again, if you click on the MDN reference, it'll show you examples, and who knows, it may even motivate you to add them into your own website, even though we may not talk about it in our lecture series. Next video, we'll go into more depth with our first element, the div element. Alright, see ya.